So we'll start with the different types of organizational structures. So the first and foremost organizational structure is the simple or entrepreneurial structure. So this is the kind of structure. So we have an entrepreneur in the middle and we have employees who are like around him. So if you are going to create a company, or if you're a startup company, you're going to start a small company, then you will be the person at the middle of it and you will have employees to help you around. So this is a very simple and a flat structure. It's one large unit with one or few top managers. So you can have even managers here. It's usually a unstructured and informal kind of a system, because as it is a very small system, there is no requirement for any rules, regulations, or standards or procedures, because it's a very simple kind of a system and only few employees are there. Lack of standardized systems allows the organization to be flexible. So the only approval system here is the owner or the entrepreneur here. So there is no other kind of a bureaucratic structure where there has to be like several kind of approvals which are required to implement a decision. If the owner decides on something, that is done. It is a young company that's tightly controlled by the owner. So whatever the owner feels, that is the right thing. A strong leader may be able to sustain an entrepreneurial organization as it grows. So this kind of an organization is useful, but the problem is, as and when this kind of a structure grows, it becomes very difficult to have the same structure. They have to change from a simple entrepreneurial structure to some other structure. However, as organizations grow, this structure can be inadequate, as decision makers can become so overwhelmed that they start making bad decisions. So what is a good thing about the structure? See, each employees can collaborate among themselves. They can get the approval of the entrepreneur very easily. So it is a very flexible kind of a system. So as and when the entrepreneur changes his mind, he can also change the direction, the strategy of the company very quickly. So this is a very kind of a good system in a changing environment. But as and when this kind of a structure keeps growing, when the number of employees are getting more and more and more, assume that there are 100 employees, then the entrepreneur cannot control all the 100 employees if they are going to directly communicate with him. Here we will discuss about the functional structure. This concept is based loosely on functional foremanship, which was described by F.W. Taylor. The organization is divided into a number of functional areas. Each area is managed by an expert in that area. People are classified according to the function they perform in the organization. So if you are a marketing person, you will be in the marketing department. If you are a HR person, you will be in the HR department. This leads to operational efficiencies. So this is a functional structure where we have the CEO on the top, then marketing department head, then vice president for the production, then finance. So these are the functions. Under them, they will have several departments of their own. For example, the finance head will have the accounting department and the treasury, and within the accounting department there can also be financial accounting or management accounting. This is best suited for a producer of standardized goods and services at large volume at low cost. So this kind of a functional structure was very famous throughout the 1900s and from 1900s to the 2000 year. This kind of structure is like very famous and was like widely used because most of the companies were large scale companies which focused on standardized goods. This also helps in coordination and specialization of tasks are centralized in the functional structure. So very specialized activities are usually centralized at the top. Usually the treasury activities are centralized. Okay, treasury activities are centralized. Even the forecasting of sales activities are like centralized in this kind of a structure. However, it could also lead to a lack of communication between the functional groups within an organization, making the organization slow and inflexible. See, the problem with this kind of structure is each department has its own departmental mentality. So they try to become, each department becomes a team of its own, okay, and they might start to fight against the rival team. So the vice president of marketing will have will be a little bit aggressive with the vice president of production, because they have some kind of a conflict. What the marketing president wants, the product that he wants to sell might not be produced by the vice president of production properly, or the pricing which the vice president says for a product might not be agreed by the finance department. So there will always be conflict when people are going to be divided on basis of functional areas. So we'll move on to the next structure. The matrix structure groups employees by both function and product. This structure can combine the best of both separate structures. A matrix structure frequently uses teams of employees to accomplish work in order to take advantage of the strengths as well as make up for the weaknesses of functional and decentralized forms. So this matrix structure is a very unique structure. We might see the picture of it. It might look like this. We have the CEO on top. We also have functional managers. So functional managers can be like HR manager, marketing manager, or production manager. So within them they have a staff of their own, okay, like what we saw in the functional structure. But the difference between functional and matrix is the company might also create a list of project managers, okay. So these project managers will have a team of their own, but they will not have a separate people, but they will get people from each of the functions. So they will get one staff from the HR department, one staff from the production department, and one from the marketing department. So this project manager will have a team of 3 people with him. So what does this project manager do? These project managers are usually given a particular objective. For example, this structure is very prevalent in terms of IT companies and construction companies, okay, or even in consultancy based companies like marketing or advertising agencies. It's like very famous. So what happens is this project manager is responsible for a particular project, okay. So projects are usually having a time limit. For example, if you want to construct a building, it takes around some 1 year to some 3 years. The project will be there only for a period of 1 to 3 years, and the project manager will head this project. To run this project, he needs employees and he needs staff. So he borrows them from each of the functional departments. As long as the project runs, these people are under the project manager's control. But once the project gets over, the staff will be again released to their own functional departments. So they will move on and report to the functional heads. As long as these staffs are in the project, they will report to the project manager. Once they are released, they will report to the functional manager. So when compared to a functional structure, the matrix structure gives you a lot of flexibility. What kind of flexibility? See, as and when projects arises, people are like shifting from here to here. So the project manager has a flexibility of getting staff from the functional departments very easily. 1, 2, he gets a variety of experienced people, a variety of talented people across various functions. So it's very easy for a project manager to run a department, to run his project effectively.
So if you guys really like the video, put a like for us and share it with your friends who might find it useful. So if you guys have any queries or questions, post it in the comment section. We'll be like happy to answer them. If you guys have any other ideas for further videos, you can put it in the comment section. We'll be like creating a new video on that topic also. So thank you guys. We'll meet in the next video.